the system wants you wanting. You are told you're not enough. You don't have enough. You haven't done enough. And if you believe that, you'll spend your whole life performing instead of living. There is enough. I am enough. Gratitude doesn't erase what's hard. It just keeps you from drowning in it. This is The Unhappy American, a short-run podcast calling out the lies, flipping the script, and giving you real tools to take your happiness back. Because you don't need to do more. You need to do different. Subscribe now, not to the life they told you to want, but to the one you choose. Gratitude has been domesticated, wrapped in a cursive font, sold as a scented candle, pinned to a Pinterest board next to a latte and a fake smile. But that's not what it is. Gratitude isn't soft, it's not sweet, it's not good vibes only. Gratitude is rebellion. It's how you fight back in a culture built to keep you dissatisfied. It's how you reclaim your nervous system. It's how you stop outsourcing your joy. Because the system wants you wanting. It runs on your insecurity, your comparison, your constant search for more. You are told you're not enough. You don't have enough. You haven't done enough. And if you believe that, you'll spend your whole life performing instead of living. But gratitude cuts through that noise. It says this moment, right here, right now, is already holding something good. And I'm not going to miss it chasing the next thing. That's not weakness. That's power. That's freedom. The lie is that we live in scarcity. That there's never enough time, never enough money, never enough rest, joy, connection, never enough you. It's baked into every billboard, every app, every performance review. It's why you feel behind before you even open your eyes in the morning. Do more, buy more, be more. And if you pause, if you let yourself feel content for just 1 second, you're made to feel like you're falling behind. That's the story. That's the spell. And in that system, gratitude gets underestimated, dismissed, decorated, declawed. It ends up as a Pinterest quote, a polite nod, a throwaway line on a corporate slide. Because a truly grateful person, they are harder to manipulate. They're harder to sell to. They're harder to distract. And harder to keep trapped in the cycle of proving and performing. Gratitude is disruptive because it shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already here. It says, there is enough. I am enough. That kind of thinking breaks the scarcity loop, and the science backs it up. Gratitude literally changes your brain. It activates reward centers and calms your stress response. It improves sleep. It boosts your immunity. It lowers symptoms of depression. And it deepens relationships. Because when you feel connected to what's working, you become more available to the people around you. Gratitude doesn't erase what's hard. It just keeps you from drowning in it. So what shifts when you stop living like there's never enough? Well, everything. You stop chasing validation like it's oxygen. You stop measuring your worth in check marks and approval. You stop waiting for some future version of life to finally feel okay. You start noticing. You start savoring. You start realizing you already hold so much that matters. This isn't about settling. It's about seeing. Seeing the real wealth in your life, connection, breath, beauty, freedom, presence. Scarcity thinking says you're behind, you're alone, and you need more. Abundance thinking says you've begun, you're supported, you are already enough. And no, this isn't magical thinking. It's biology. You train your brain every single day to focus on something. Gratitude asks, what if you stopped rehearsing the lack and started collecting the light? The good coffee, the weird cloud, the song that hit at the perfect red light. You already have access to all of this. You just need to notice it. When you shift to abundance, you don't lose ambition. You just stop bleeding energy into proving. You stop waiting for permission to feel joy. You give it to yourself now. So no, gratitude isn't a vibe. It's a practice. And if you want it to work, you've got to use it like a tool, not a checklist. And here's what that looks like. Start with just 5 seconds of presence. Forget the journal prompts. Forget the pressure. Just ask yourself, what made me feel something today? Not what looked good. Not what you think you should appreciate. But what landed, what gave you energy, what sparked something real, what felt like a win, even if no one else noticed. Like remembering a joke hours later and laughing out loud in the canned goods aisle. Then, stretch it. Savor it. Replay it for a few seconds because you already know how to rehearse stress. Gratitude teaches your brain to rehearse joy. And if you want it to stick, speak it. Text the friend, thank the colleague, say the thing that worked, that helped, that mattered. Gratitude spoken out loud becomes connection. And connection, that's what keeps people going. And if you lead a team, listen up. Gratitude isn't a branding exercise. It's not a campaign. It's not a line in an all-hands deck during Mental Health Month. It's how you respond when someone's overwhelmed. It's whether you recognize effort, even if the outcome isn't perfect. It's what you model, what you reward, what you normalize. Gratitude doesn't just change how you feel, it changes how you lead, how you connect, how you live. It doesn't just shift your mood, it shifts your standard for how you show up, for what you choose to notice, and for the kind of life you're trying to build. The opposite of gratitude isn't complaining, it's scarcity. And scarcity eats everything in its path. Your peace, your clarity, your joy, your enoughness. It keeps you fixated on what's out there. Chasing, comparing, scrolling, doubting. But gratitude flips the script. It brings you back to what's working, back to what's already here, back to your life. Not because everything's perfect, but because there's always something worth noticing. When you anchor there, when you root yourself in enough, you stop surviving and you start living. You get your power back. So, what does a happy American look like? Well, they're not blind to brokenness. And they're not delusional, they're just no longer trapped in scarcity. They've trained themselves to focus on what's working, to feel their life, not just perform it, to move from presence instead of panic. They don't wait to be rescued by success. because they know joy lives in the daily moments most people miss. The breath, the conversation, the sky. They're not constantly chasing, they're constantly noticing. And they don't hoard energy, they share it. They don't believe they're falling behind, they know they've already started. And they don't act from fear. They act from fullness. They don't just believe there's enough, they live like it. That's what makes them dangerous. That's what makes them free. So here's your move. Don't perform gratitude, live it. Let it guide what you notice. Let it shape what you say. Let it set the tone for how you show up. Practice it like it matters, because it does. Not just in the big, profound moments, but in tiny, blink and you'll miss it flashes of enoughness. Send the text. Name the moment. Stop long enough to feel what's already working. If you're ready to stop living in lack, to stop waiting for joy and start creating it, subscribe to The Unhappy American. Share this with someone stuck in the scarcity loop. And as for you, for f***'s sake, be grateful. Not because life is perfect, but because you are awake. You are here. And something today is still good.